Hi guys, how's it going? So today we're here with a braid. This is one of my more favored braids. I really enjoy this braid. That being said, again, it took me a while to learn it. So I really want to encourage you guys, if you're struggling with braids, don't give up. Keep trying, keep moving, keep going. Even if they look bad, like Maria doesn't care. She loves it no matter what you do to her. So um, just keep that in mind and keep an open mind. You guys are going to hear me say that a lot because it's super important. So I wanted to start with showing you the end result first, okay? Because I feel like there's parts of this that we need to talk about before we actually begin the braiding process. Okay, so here we have Maria, and you can see that the braid wraps up and over, and it goes all the way around the head like this. All right, now the reason I wanted to show you this before we get started is because this area right here is part of your intention before you start. So you want to think about how this hair is going to flow and where you need to part the hair to make it look balanced when we're done. All right, so this braid actually starts behind the ear um, in this area right here. So what I do is I start my braid here, I travel up over the head like this, and then back down around. I'm going to braid it out, and then I pin my braid in here. And it's not really even that visible that there's a braid pinned in there, so it actually looks uniform and put together. So I want you to think about this when you're starting your sectioning for your doll head for this one. This is a really cool braid. I love it. One of the girls at the salon that I used to work at, she rocked this braid all the time, and I always had fun doing it for her. So it's a really cool look. You can pull it out even more. I didn't so much because Maria has a lot of layers, and I didn't want to pull it out too much, so I just left it in its traditional, more soft state. So you can like pull it out if you have like the powder. There's like texture powder that you can get, and you shake it on the actual braid, and it really helps you to like pull out those pieces, and it's super dope. So I'm gonna take her down, and then we'll get started. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna do my best here, guys. This is kind of like weird angles. My arm might get in the way, but I'm gonna do my best to keep it open for you guys to see. Okay, so here you can see this is like the back of the ear, the back of the ear right here. Okay, and it kind of rounds up to the apex right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush all this hair forward into her face like this. Okay, so I'm going to start the braid right here, and I'm going to work around this way, and I'm going to end in this direction. And also on my setup, I have my rat tail comb, I have bobby pins, and I have a rubber band. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start, and this is a Dutch braid. So I'm going to start so your sections don't have to be exactly perfect, okay? They can, I feel like the less precise they are, the more they actually blend. More like zigzaggy lines, things like that tend to blend and be a lot softer. Okay, so here's my three braids. So again, like we learned on the Dutch fishtail, the thing that makes it a Dutch is that the braids go underneath, okay? So by all means, if you're still learning how to do Dutch braids, I don't expect you to attempt this, but I do expect you to work on your braids. Okay, so here I have my three pieces, and I like to utilize my whole hand when I do a braid. So I've got my 1, 2, 3. I'm going to grab number 1 with my fist, and then I'm going to grab number 3 underneath this center one here with my fingers. I use my fist because I feel like it's a lot easier for me to work this way with my fist and my forefingers, because it frees everything up here so I can work. All right, so I'm going to grab number 1 with my fist, and then I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to grab it like this. You see this piece that I leave on the top of my hand? That's the one I'm going to grab with my fist like this before. Now I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to grab this piece right here. Now there's this piece on the top. Grab this with my fist, and I go underneath. Now this is where I add more hair. And we're just adding little pieces here, not anything crazy, but we do, see how this just kind of falls over here? That's okay. That's what I want it to do, because I'm not worried about it. I'm not working with it right now. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of hair here, grab this with my fist. And of course, if you do Dutch braids differently, you don't have to hold your hands like this. This is just the way I was taught. So these pieces, as you start to get towards the face, you kind of want to make pie sections, because as we learned with the curvature perm the other day, the pie pieces help to follow the curve of the head. Oh, dude. It's hard for me to grab this piece because I'm trying to stay visible for you guys. All right. So you notice how I'm paying attention to the hair up here, because that's like how I want to think about how that hair is going to flow with the braid. Okay, so you can see how I'm keeping my braid close to the forehead, close to the hairline, I should say, because it's going to stay this way all the way around. So how I'm doing that is I'm just grabbing little pieces right here, okay? The way you grab your sections is what's going to determine how the hair travels. So you notice I'm adjusting my doll head as I go, making it easier for me. So if you want to deconstruct this braid, now is like a good time to start doing that, and when it's about right here, because this is one of those braids that's a little bit more difficult to deconstruct all the way around. Okay, cool. So I've already grabbed my hair underneath here, so I'm going to go back. So I hope you guys have enjoyed learning some different hairstyles. I really think that this experience as a teacher is changing the way I'm going to do hair in the future for my students. All right, so here we come and we're starting to pivot around the head. Again, I'm taking pie shaped sections in the back because I'm pivoting. I'm creating like a pie. All right, think about how you would cut a pie, and that's what my pieces look like. So in the back, not in the front. They're small. And we want to smooth them out as we go. All right, so since I'm deconstructing this braid, I'm going to pause and I'm going to do a little bit of this. All right, so here I want to make sure that I'm thinking about how this is going to look right here, because all of that right there by the face is super important. That's what they're going to see. I'm going to turn her head and I'm going to try to lower her. So you can see how this might get awkward a little bit with your clients the first time you do it. So try it on your sister or your friend or your girlfriend or whomever, your mom, whatever, roommate. So the awkwardness can get worked out with someone you know. Okay, so, excuse me. I'm going to pull these out a little bit. So your dolls, your stands have this portion of them that allow you to dip down like this, and it's really helpful when you get to this point if you utilize your stand. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my braid, and I'm going to pull some of this out. Okay, so I don't need to go all the way to the end of this braid. Okay, so here I'm going to loosen this just a little bit, and I'm going to stop right here. When I pull this pony on the hair, I'm going to fold the ends in like this. Okay, can you see that? So I'm going to leave the ends wrapped up inside the pony. Got my pony. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when I do this, I'm intentionally not pulling it all the way through. I find that it makes it a little bit easier to hide this. Okay. Excuse me. So now you can see where I ended. And when I pull this up in here like this, that's a little off, but that's okay. Maria's got weird scalp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up in here and I'm going to pin this into this first part of the braid. Okay? Oh, you can't see. Let me adjust her, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this up in here, and I'm going to tuck this back part right here. I'm going to tuck this into the braid. So let's start with my first bobby pin. And when you put this in, you're kind of weaving it through like this. Right. Then I want to make sure my elastic is hidden. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this hair and I'm going to pin this piece in like that. And then I want to make sure these ends go in. Put the ends through and just kind of bob and weave that bobby pin through. Okay, so now I'm going to look at her and I'm going to see, wow, she looks really pretty. Oh, but that's a little loose right there. Y'all see that? Okay, never fail. Bobby pins are your friends for this kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to push the braid and I'm going to pull it to this point. In and out of that braid. Ta-da! Not loose anymore. Okay, this is a really pretty braid. I love this one. Again, it can be frustrating, but once you conquer it and you master it, like, you're going to be so proud of yourself. Trust me, I know all about it. So here we go. Crown braid. Love it. Love you more.